Hey, real quick, before we get into that episode, do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss out on any marketing nuggets. Enjoy the show.
But as far as, how we stand out in the digital world, print still really has a really high recall rate. So someone who sees an ad in print, they're going to remember it a little bit more than they're going to see it online. Online, how often do you look at an ad online?
Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Make Marketing Make Sense. Today I'm joined by the fabulous Greer Stewart.
Hey.
Marketing manager at Renaissance Publishing.
Yes.
Wow, so many great things. You're here to tell me print's not dead.
I am here to tell you print's not dead. It's alive and well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're talking about revitalizing print marketing, and so really, so how is it that print is providing that value in today's world?
Yeah. So I'll go back to print being dead.
Okay,
it's not dead.
Right. It's not dead.
It's not dead.
Come on.
It's alive and well. I think it's one of the oldest forms of entertainment and news, and I think having instant access to the news now and newspapers kind of suffering a little bit has become this overarching print is dead. And then there's issues with the newsstand too. It's a much longer story for another day, but if you go to the grocery store.
I'll read it in the paper tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah. If you go to the grocery store, I guarantee you those racks at the checkout counter, not a single magazine will be in the right spot. There's a whole big reason behind that. The people at the grocery store they're not in charge of putting those out. So that's, I think, another reason why people say print's dead. But it's not dead. And especially lifestyle magazines, I think is, influencing, and Pinterest and, these avenues in which we try to better curate our own lives. Lifestyle magazines are still doing great. People still use them, and they're very alive and well, I promise. And they're doing other things in a digital age that are setting them apart from everyone else too. We still offer print for sure, but they're also diving deep into digital as well.
Right.
So as a publishing company at Renaissance Publishing, we also have our digital platforms that we can run advertising on.
You're still printing, but in
We're
pixels.
still printing in print. And people love seeing our magazines on their coffee tables. Yeah. There are some publishers out there.
We got those on our coffee table.
There we go. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, you came through. You were like, look at this.
Yeah, they're still showing up in doctors' offices and at the airport. They're still there, I promise.
Yeah.
And there's some publishers. I used to work for Garden and Gun magazine. People get mad if they don't get their issue in the mail. They want to hold it. They want to touch it. Yeah. The cover stock is known amongst the subscriber base for being really high quality. And they put a lot of pride and work into that. So there are definitely certain magazines, certain publishers that people really don't want to even read them on a digital platform. They're much more preferred being tangible.
Yeah.
But as far as, how we stand out in the digital world, print still really has a really high recall rate. So someone who sees an ad in print, they're going to remember it a little bit more than they're going to see it online. Online, how often do you look at an ad online?
Oh man, Google, I'm sorry, I have ad blocker. I know you keep trying, but
there you go.
And
the more websites and search engines, block ads and whatnot, or paid subscriptions, you can pay a little bit more to not see ads.
Not see ads, yeah.
Yeah, so
man, they keep trying though, because now it's the ad will pop up for half a second on a YouTube video, and then it'll die.
Right. And then even, as I naturally see, oh my God, the TikTok shop ads are the bane of my existence. Yeah. If you accidentally watch one of those ads for too long, you're going to see the same ad over and over again.
They get you.
They get you, and it's really annoying. That's another good point, too. The threshold in which an ad or a brand can become memorable to someone is so small online. The more you see it, sometimes the more you get annoyed because you're scrolling TikTok and Instagram for entertainment. Exactly. I really don't want to be. It really makes me not want to buy something, to be honest, if you're pushing ads on me all the time.
Exactly.
But print, it's there, it's tangible. As you're flipping through, you see it may catch your eye. You're probably going to linger on it a lot more. And there's some people who are really, really great at just being consistent with their print advertising. So, whether it's in a magazine or on a billboard, you're going to immediately recognize it. It being tangible is great. Magazines have a huge longevity. You know, you could an issue from 6 months ago, you may go back to for a recipe, or you may be in a doctor's office and be bored and want to get off the screen and look at it. So there's a good chance that your ad is going to last a lot longer than it would digitally as well. And there's a plethora of other reasons for print, but those are my big ones, especially the recall rate. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If people are going to remember your ad in print, you should definitely be working.
That is curious. I mean, like the two things that popped in my head was the anecdotal evidence that I had, which was like I was at Gerald's one time and I was watching the lady like change out the machine, and she was just pulling out all these coins from the print machine, and I was like, wow, all right, I guess people still paying for it.
People still do it.
I think too, and kind of what you're saying too, I think print feels also almost like this nostalgia, but not necessarily just nostalgia, but more so value coming in from like the tactile nature of it, where we've become so digitally ingrained that it almost feels like a novelty to have something that's not digital to pull you away from that.
And some of these magazines are so nice too. The Bitter Southerner is one that I really, really like. And I have one of Big Frida on the cover, and I want to frame it and keep it in my house. And yes, they're beautiful, and you have to wait for them. Yeah. The designs are great. I mean, sure, anyone can kind of hop on Canva and make these beautiful designs for the internet, but the people who are designing for magazines have built careers in design. So anything that you see on Pinterest or Instagram that's beautiful and curated, you're going to be able to find that in a magazine as well. And you get to touch it and feel it, and it can sit on your coffee table, and it can be a piece in your house and something that you're going to learn from and take away from as well. Shout out to Garden and Gun. They do a really great job too. People collect those
Do you
issues.
feel like
if you have a copy, that first edition?
Oh, first ed?
I want one. No. But they're hard to find.
Oh, really?
The first edition of it. If someone has it, let me know.
I thought maybe you were part of it.
No, that was like, it was like within the 2000s, probably like 2008, 2009.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I was a wee child at that point. I was still in the school,
And I would love all the Bitter Southerner covers. I mean, Texas Monthly is a great one. Obviously, all of the Ren Pub ones are great.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, though. We do it. Renaissance Publishing does a lot of magazines.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, hey, we do this, we got that, we got this, we got that.
Yeah, my house is filled with magazines.
Oh, really? Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, New Orleans...
Is this an MLM or is that...
No.
It's not like
that. But New Orleans Magazine, Biz, and St. Charles Avenue are monthly. So I'm getting at least 3 every month.
Wow.
And then Acadiana Profile and Louisiana Life are bi-monthly, and they switch off. So actually I'm getting at least 4 magazines a month.
And you just keep them around? You just stack them up?
Yeah. It's got my name in them. I can't.
Wow. Okay.
That's the cool part about working for a magazine.
What are you going to do with all these magazines in your house? It's like at some point you're going to have a magazine storage unit.
I would love like a whole gallery wall that's just magazine. Wow. Like as I've worked at magazines, ones that have my name in them.
Wow.
Because there's a masthead in magazines that lists everyone that works for the company.
Okay.
And it'd be cool. Throughout my publishing career, it'd be really cool to have like a huge gallery wall of all of the magazines I've
That's the one thing about print. It's a lot more volume.
It takes a lot of space.
And space
That's true.
than digital. It's like I could keep all the things I worked on in one hard drive about this big,
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, not to get off on that tangent too much, but and I think how are you kind of shaping the experience for, because I think in magazines people forget that it is about, not just about the thing itself, but also to attract people to use it. For you as a marketer, how are you bringing people to the magazine? What are your strategies to bring them in as a marketer?
Yeah. So I came from a national publisher to a regional one, and being able to have worked for both, I do think regional is really incredible in that anything that we write about, you can go experience in your day-to-day life.
Oh, yeah.
You can go do it tomorrow if you want.
Yeah.
That hot new restaurant, make a reservation. An event that's happening, go to it. A charity needs volunteers, you can go. Whatever businesses are advertising, you could probably go walk to their storefront, depending on where you are in the city. So I love working for a regional magazine and really being able to make what's written in print come to life in my real life, and I get to enjoy it. And I think also too, I'd be so shocked if anyone watching this hasn't met someone on our staff before. Most of them have lived in New Orleans forever. Yeah. And so they're your neighbors, they're your community members. They're writing about things that they're interested in, which should also be things that the readers are interested in, because everyone's subscribed to New Orleans Magazine, for instance. Yeah. I would hope is interested in things about New Orleans.
Hey, I mean,
or like Biz New Orleans. They're interested in the business stories. Yeah. And so I think it being content that's completely relatable to everyone
Yeah.
and not niche is great.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps people coming back. We're pretty interactive on social media. If you message us, you're gonna get an answer from me or our editor Kelly. You could walk into our office, and chances are you'll end up meeting the CEO. He's personally delivered things to people's houses before.
Oh, wow.
So you really can have a super involved kind of personal relationship.
My address, so I'll get that to you. So you know.
I'll call Todd and tell him to personally deliver your magazines every month.
There we go.
But you can really have a personal experience with any of our magazines.
Yeah.
And I mean, they talk about your home. If you live here, it's giving praise to your home and your friends and your community members on, whether if you're not learning about something new, you're seeing something you love and appreciate, get the highlight it deserves.
Yeah, and I guess how does that also attract people that would want to place ads?
Yeah, so if we'll keep going back to New Orleans Magazine, but as a New Orleans business, if you want to target the people of New Orleans Magazine's a great place to start.
Where's that? Yeah.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
We distribute the magazines all throughout the city. They're monthly. We do events where we get extra distribution too. So a lot of the times throughout the year, you're getting a solid amount of eyes on your ads.
Because you have the data for that too. And when they're interested, they can come to you and you can tell them all about that.
Yeah. So let's say you're a business and you're interested in working with us, you're going to connect with one of our sales reps and they're going to show you our media kit. And every magazine out there should have a media kit. And it is basically the nitty gritty and the foundation of the magazine and any information that you're curious about. It has our circulation, just extra distribution that we do, all of our ad rates, what each issue throughout the year is going to be, and all of our different offerings from print to digital and beyond.
Yeah.
I think we just added a partners page. Like, we're in good company. It looks really, the 2025 media kit is about to come out, and I'm really excited about it. So you get to see who we work with, what we do, what we can offer you, and how we can help you succeed and reach our audience. Yeah,
that's awesome. And and from that and everything, and since we talked about the personalization, we talked about, how that's happening. I guess too, I'm curious, from the advertiser's perspective, do they, what are they typically looking for? Like when they come to you, are they looking for, is it I guess one of the things that, and in particular, I'm curious about is, are they doing ads? What do you suggest them to come look for you? Because there's a thing that they're coming to look for, and I know there's a thing that you think that's best to be looking for to be placed in there.
Yeah, I think I would assume, because our sales reps do filter a lot of these conversations, but I do think when people are interested in working with a magazine, they're like, print. I have to be in print.
Yeah.
And that's great. And we definitely want you to be in print, for sure. But I think people are often surprised that we offer so many other things too. So it's our sales rep's job to kind of show them all of the things that we offer. And it's even just diving into print, it's more than just buying an ad. Yeah. You can buy a profile, so you can highlight someone yourself or someone that is working for your company. Some of the times those profiles are themed throughout the year. So sometimes there's ones in the medical industry or some that, are in an issue that's going to highlight best lawyers. And if you're a lawyer, that's probably the issue you're going to want to be in. So there's a lot of personalization we can do, a lot of different paths and avenues that we can go down depending on what your budget is. And then I don't think a lot of people know that we can run ads for you on social media against our own subscribers. We can do social media campaigns or organically on social media. We can do email campaigns. So for each magazine that we have various email lists. And so you can send your own dedicated email to any of our list. And you can also buy an event from us. So with Biz New Orleans and New Orleans Magazine, you can come to us and say, hey, I'm putting on this event. Will you handle all of the marketing and advertising for it? And we will do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I hope I'm not, just making a guess here, but I'm sure if someone had an idea that we didn't offer in our media kit, I'm sure our team would be willing to work with them and make something really big and crazy happen.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was curious about is there room for them to customize, based off all the things you described? Can they get some of this, some of that? And do you help them through that process and everything?
Yeah, definitely. They will curate packages for people. I know we have clients that year to year come back to us, and maybe they'll make tweaks throughout the year just depending on what they have planned. But a lot of our longstanding clients, they'll be like, oh, well, we do a membership campaign in the spring, so all of our ads will be membership campaign based. Maybe we're we're partnering with a charity again this year, so doing something with St. Charles Avenue may make a little bit more sense to advertise that partnership in. You know, there's a lot of different things that we could do just based on a company's needs.
Yeah.
I'm being super broad because it really just it depends on what someone's
for sure.
asking.
Well, I guess I'm curious too, you know, on a separate note is there something that you feel like is underutilized as a service?
Ooh, that's a
like
great
that you guys
question.
offer, you know, like that you feel like people should be taking advantage of?
Yeah. I think running an ad on our website is priced really incredibly, and they get a lot of clicks.
Yeah.
So we do some internal events and whatnot, and so I will run our own internal events on our website. So when you go to myneworleans.com or bizneworleans.com, there's a huge banner right at the top. So you can have an ad placed there. And those click rates are great. They're awesome. And then our email rates are really, really great too. The click rates are above the national average. And people do use dedicated emails and our website ads a lot. But if I owned a company, that's probably what I would be like, oh, I have to do this on top of other things. But I think our digital platforms are really, really, really great. But again, I think people are like, I want to work with New Orleans Magazine because I want to be in a magazine, you know? So the digital secondary.
Well, you know it now. You got to get in there. You got to get in there. Get on that. Get on that website. You know?
Yes. Yeah,
awesome.
You definitely need to do digital. And a mix of digital and print is really great because you're going to hit our paid subscribers in print. But then we probably do have followers on Instagram and people who visit our website that might not get a subscription at home. So you're hitting everybody if you're doing both.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, well, and the last thing I'm curious about, because I think, you know, we talked about that. We talked about this, you know, is if they are interested in that, what are some of the things that you suggest for them to kind of be preparing for before they come talk to you?
Yeah. Know who your audience is first because and New Orleans Magazine's great, going back to them, but it is broad. Yeah. And so if maybe the St. Charles Avenue audience is better for you. Maybe if you maybe be better suited for Biz New Orleans, or maybe all three. Oh. You never know.
But if they know their audience, they could come to you and you could kind of help guide them.
Right.
To the right
exactly. So know your audience and who you're trying to reach. Where is that audience? Where are they spending time? Are they reading the magazine or maybe they're more digital based? I would also, print is really fast, the turnaround time. We've got a month of kind of planning for each issue. So depending on when you come to us, I would kind of already know the design of what you're going to do. Yeah. Our team can definitely help with design questions and whatnot, but, you know, kind of being prepared. You know, if you are coming to us today and you're like, I have to be in the December issue. Yeah. Well, we're going to start needing your ads at the end of next week. So if you don't have, you know,
and
if
for
your
reference,
photo shoot...
right now, today's date is, what is it?
True.
The November
Today's November 1st. Easy.
Oh, my gosh.
Easy.
What are the odds?
So around November 8th, so next Friday, we'll really need your ads in hand. So if we're starting a conversation today, we get stuff signed and agreed to next week, you've got a couple days to turn an ad around. So if you're expecting to, you know, have a photo shoot or, you know, to make all of these things happen, just keep in mind that print can sometimes be tight.
You got to have a lot of assets in hand. If it's a monthly.
Yeah. I don't know how weeklies make those things. I really do not know how weeklies work, but monthly seems really tight and fast to me.
Get on it. What do you do?
I don't know how People Magazine does it. I have no idea.
I don't know how they do that.
I would imagine they have like a team for each week of the month or something. Or they have a 24-hour staff. I really have no idea how weeklies
They probably have no life. That's probably.
I don't know how they get them printed in time. I mean, it's crazy.
Who knows? Well, you know, we'll get them on here next. You know?
There you go.
I'll just
call
get that
up.
for you. Yeah. Hold up, speed dial. Yeah, hello. No, that's great. Well, any other things that you would want people to know about, you know, print industry before we kind of wrap it up? That's like, you know, something that everybody just, you know, we know it's not dead. So, you know, what else is there to know?
You can follow a magazine on Instagram the same way that you can follow an influencer. You can sign up for their newsletters.
Oh my gosh, how many things you got to shout out today?
Yeah, right. And we love influencers. Yeah. We really, really do. I do not see them as a competitor. They are friends. Yeah. But you can definitely look at magazines the same way. And I think the great thing about a magazine is they cover a lot of bases in people's lives. So it's not just going to be fashion. It's not just going to be home. It's going to be a lot of the lifestyle ones hit everything. And then what I love that a lot of brands are doing now is they're doing a lot of events. I think that for magazines to survive in this age, they really do have to get out there and be meeting their readers and their subscribers. We do a lot of events around town. I get a lot of praise for doing them. It's really great meeting subscribers in real life. We do a huge bridal show in January where we bring in like 300 people up to the Roosevelt. It's really great. And then Garden and Gun is really great about doing events too. And I mean, how cool is it to be able to go meet your favorite editor or to be able to go sip a cocktail with, you know, the art director. It's if
while
you
you're
are
in your
interested,
favorite garden, holding your favorite gun.
yeah, sitting in like Cashers, North Carolina, like going on a fly fishing trip with the CEO. Yeah, no, they're offering incredible experiences. So dive deep into a magazine. Like they really could be doing stuff in your community and you don't know about it. And it's a great way to meet people, especially if you're a business owner. If you want to shake hands with an editor, come to our events, come meet them, come say hi. We're not shy. We'd love to meet you.
Case in point, you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's awesome.
So yeah, dive deep. See what magazines are doing. They're doing so much more than just print.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I couldn't have summed it up better myself. So, at this point, all we got to know is, what you want to, I'm sure there's a lot of things you want to shout out for, where to follow you, what to follow on magazine-wise, So, I mean, where should people find on the digital space? Or I guess if they want to get, figure out how to get in the print space, where should they follow?
For sure, yeah. So, Renaissance Publishing, we do New Orleans Magazine, Biz New Orleans, St. Charles Avenue, New Orleans Home and Bride. And then we have Acadiana Profile and Louisiana Life. You can find us all on Instagram. You can find us all on Facebook, LinkedIn. And my email is Greer, Greer, at myneworleans.com. And so if you have any questions, if you want to reach any of the sales reps, editors, you can email me and I'll forward it to them. So.
Right in there. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Get a part of those opportunities today.
And subscribe.
Hey, and subscribe.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much, Greer.
This
was
fantastic.
So
great being
All
here.
right.
Yeah.
And we'll see everybody else on the next one. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This episode of Make Marketing Make Sense is brought to you by Comfystone. If your business needs organic social media video content, video ads, or video podcasting, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Until next time, this is Make Marketing Make Sense.